let me enjoy this song that went round the internet last Valentine. Actually, somebody even sent me the song just to emphasize my singleness. So let me play for all my single people. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking the link or the thumbnail that brought you here. I'm so excited to have you here. My name is Mercy and I make videos about faith, grad school and life in between. In fact, I make videos about anything. Okay, no, that's not true, but I make videos about faith, grad school and life in between. Thank you for tuning in to this video. I'm going to be giving you people some kind of gist. This gist is in light of the celebration of love going on. This is February. See, I'm also wearing red. I'm repping. So I'm going to be giving people gist about my dating app experience. Grab a tea, or a cup of tea rather, or a cup of coffee or juice or whatever, because I'm bringing it. So before I start, background story, right? I grew up in a very conservative home, and it was always this thing of at the right time, go bring the man. Like, you're not even supposed to, all those homes that it's almost expected that you're not supposed to even date during your stay in university, coupled with the fact that I was very young when I was in uni. So that was my thinking. So for me, dating apps were like, no, wrong. Like, how can you do that? That's not Christianly, right? That was where my head was at. But I think that I had a season where I knew that I was supposed to be single deliberately, and in my head at a point the season had passed and it was time for me to start dating because I wanted to get married. And then COVID hit. So during the heat of the lockdown where our lives were all on standstill, I was like, okay, you say you want to date but you are stuck at home, so what do we do? So around that time, I read a story about this this woman who preaches amazing ministry, and how that she met her husband in via a dating app. And then it got me interested, like, oh, they have a ministry and they met on a dating app. They were Christians, and so this thing is not just for hookups or like one night stands. Like, people can actually meet. Like, for me, it was wow. That means that's good. So I started changing my thoughts around dating apps when I saw that woman's testimony. And then one other day, I think I was just scrolling on Instagram. So I used to do spoken word, still do a little bit, and so I follow Ezekiel Azonwu. So he's a very good spoken word artist. I saw that he was advertising this dating app for Christians. I was like, if Ezekiel is telling us to do this, then it should be good, because in my head, I mean, at least on a surface level, I trust Ezekiel. So if he's endorsing this thing, then maybe it's good. So that was how I eventually downloaded the app. I mean, of course, there was a lot of back and forth in my head, like, is this right? Is this being desperate? Is this? But I was just like, well, the world is moving forward. People meet their boyfriends or girlfriends or husbands and wives on Facebook and on Twitter. So I mean, this is we're getting into a virtual world, so take advantage of what is available, right? That was what I told myself. That was how I convinced myself that it was okay to join a dating app. So I downloaded this Christian one. I'm even going to give you guys the name, because why not, if some of you are thinking about it. So the name then was FTH, but I think now they changed it to like Upward or something like that. So they said it was for Christians. I signed up, and I think that particular one was a new app, so it was free at the time. I don't know if it's still free. I joined, and then the whole swipe thing. Oh god, I felt some kind of way. I was like, this is what everybody talks about. You either swipe right or swipe left, and that was me. Spec like me had to put picture and be swiping. This one, no, I don't like this one. This one. It was really weird. But anyway, I joined that one, and I got to meet a couple of people actually. So like, you put your location so they can pair you up with people who are around your location. And of course, I'm African, so most people who we in quotes connected on the app, who I connected with on the app were Africans. Not like I was opposed to any race, really I wasn't, but it just was easier to connect with Africans because we had more to talk about. So connected with like 3 or 4 different Africans. Ha, God. So first, let me talk about chatting. You know why you are there. Yeah, it's not there just to make friends and preach the gospel. Let's not deceive ourselves. You are there because you want to date and possibly get married. For me, dating has always been you date to get married. It's not just let's see how it goes, right? And I felt like I was too old for let's see how it goes. So I was there, and then so because of that, your chats, you want to make sure that you're engaging enough, because if you don't engage enough, then you guys are most likely not going to connect. Like, you have to give it time, you have to give it your time, you have to give it you have to put effort in your conversations, right? It's not just a casual thing. At least for me, it wasn't. So you'll be chatting, you want to seem I think for me, I'm talking from my own perspective, there was this thing of there was this bit of pressure to look exciting or look interesting. Of course, it didn't make me lie or anything, but it just meant that I had to double think whatever I was going to type. And because it's like, okay, maybe it will be this one, or let's just be chatting, let's be trying to, and all of that. And eventually, I think I talked to like 3 of the African guys that I met, like on phone. So like, if conversation, so how it goes, if you've never done this, how it goes is that if conversation is going well, see, I didn't do Tinder and all of those hookup sites, so it's different, right? But how it goes is that if the conversation is going well, then you people will switch to WhatsApp, because maybe you're more comfortable with the person, and chatting on the dating app can be stressful. For me, I disabled notifications, so like unless I enter the app, I would not even see anything. So it was just stressful. But chatting on WhatsApp, of course, we're all more convenient. We're all more conversant and just comfortable with WhatsApp. So I think I switched to WhatsApp with like 3, of course not at the same time, at different times, where people would think that I was just So this first guy that I switched to WhatsApp with, cool, very cool guy. I mean, African, doing a PhD in some nice school in the US and all of that. Eventually, we started talking. And I think that just because he felt in quotes an academic also, he would like a winning, I think he thought that a winning point or whatever would just be to make the conversation very academic. So for me, I wanted to know who he was, what he believes. Like, I wanted to ask the very deep Christian, because they say it's Christian dating app. So I wanted to ask the very deep Christian questions. When did you give your life to Christ? It's almost like I wanted to ask, what's your salvation story? Those kind of questions. Don't do that, don't interview anybody. But that was what I wanted to ask. But he just started talking about his research and what he does and how he does it, and his students, and it's not, when you start talking about your research, okay, yes, on the surface level, I want to know that, I want to know your passion, like what drives you and all. But when you now start giving me very detailed, and he's in the arts, right? So he started giving me very detailed stuff that I can't relate with. And I'm like, what's really going on here? I was just tired. It looked like I was writing an exam, and so you have to keep thinking, like intellectually you're being tested, that kind of thing. It was just too much for me. Even me, who, all those people that forms are sexual. At a point, I was one of them, but no, I'm not anymore. So even for me, who values intellectual conversations, I was just like, now wow, which one be this one? Even if it's in an exam, we say would they come to? It was just too much for me. So no, I couldn't deal. So I think we just drifted apart. But yeah, there was always that thing of, and yeah, we were both busy, students and all, so we were both busy, so we drifted apart. But I know that there was a lot of pressure for me that time. I just felt like, I have to bring my A game. I have to, too much pressure. The second guy that I got to talk to, this one, he was even in Canada, so Ohio were relatively close to Canada, so I guess that's why they paired me with him. And this one was even a Nigerian guy. Like, I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're talking, and I put my age on the app, so that's another thing. Maybe consider not putting your age. I don't know, but I think it helps to filter who comes to talk to you. So I put my age, and of course, you guys know I'm very young. Well, very young is relative, don't mind me. I just want to be very young forever, but basically I am relatively young. I think I am, yeah. So I put my age, and then we were talking. So in his mind I was an undergrad, which is not a problem, right? I was an undergrad in my school. So I think he was asking me, so when did I come to the US? So how, like, he's in Canada, so I think he was asking me something about how my what's it called has been, my program has been, and how that, oh, undergrads don't get scholarships, so how are we doing it, this kind of conversations. So I now said I'm not an undergrad. So I did not put that I'm an undergrad there, but he just assumed. So I now said I'm not an undergrad. And I said, what are you? And I said, oh, actually, I'm in grad school. So that's another thing. I also did not want, I just said I'm in grad school. He now said, oh, okay, so what year are you in? Then I think I was still in my first year. So I said I'm in my first year. He was like, oh, so just one more year. You're almost done. And I said, no, actually, I still have 4 more years. He was like, but you're not in undergrad, right? He was too interested in the whole career thing. So eventually I told him, okay, yeah, I'm doing a PhD and all of that. You guys, the conversation changed. I was tired. He changed the conversation to how that he looks up to me. So we are on dating app because you want to meet people and date, right? That's how he changed the conversation to how he looks up to people like this, that, wow, such an inspiration. I was now feeling very, very uncomfortable. Like, this was not how this was supposed to go. And then I think eventually, maybe just because, I don't know, I may be wrong, but maybe he was a bit insecure. I think he now started saying how that, oh, he's an African man, he likes his African women to submit. Like, what's even bringing, we didn't even have any conversation to lead to that. But that he sure likes his African women to submit, so he would not like to marry a woman who is too career driven. So nobody told me. I said, in my mind, I said, I get the point, thanks, sir. So of course that was the end of that conversation. And then the third conversation I had was with this guy. So this one, I think by this time I was already getting tired of the whole thing. I was like, see, what is this stress? Like, is it by force? Like, must it be this hard? It looked so much like, when you're trying to use works to do something instead of grace. Now, I don't mean this is how it is for everybody on dating apps. Some people, it happens like, just, it goes seamlessly. For me, it seemed like I was trying too hard. Like, what is all this? It's not even that deep. Do you get? I'm a spec. So by this last guy, maybe I was already tired. So I wasn't trying. It was just, let's just okay, conversation and all. But he was a cool person. And at a point, just like eventually asking him certain questions, I knew that I couldn't date him, but we stayed friends. And I think that maybe, we stayed friends. He was just cool. He did not do anything weird. He was a normal person. So I think those were the 3 people I really, I got to talk to. Of course, I chatted with other people that I just knew that, no, this conversation cannot continue, because you just know, right? You just know when this is not going to work. But it was like hard work at the point. You're anxious when you're chatting. It's like, let this one be the one that we click. No, I'm sharing, I'm being vulnerable, so that if you're in that position, whether dating online or on site, in person, that don't allow yourself be under any kind of pressure. If it's not the one that works, so what? You move. God knows what we need, right? At the right time, he'll bring what we need. So I thought it was very interesting. And I think after that, just around when I talked to the third guy, I eventually told my friend that I'm not going to be doing this thing again. Like, I feel like there's no faith in this. What I mean by that is, you know how the Bible says that whatever you don't do by faith is sin. I feel like I was trying so hard to make what should be a God process just happen on my own terms. And I knew that that's not the kind of life I was supposed to live. So for me, that was why I said, I'm not doing again. I deleted the apps and all of that. I was like, no. Does this mean dating apps are bad? I don't think so. I feel like just like with online dates and in-person dating or meeting people in person, if you have the right mindset about it, you'll be fine. Not everybody you talk to or meet will be a potential boyfriend or husband or girlfriend or wife. That's just the truth. That is life, right? But if you maintain the right posture about the whole thing and you are trusting that God is the one who will bring whoever is going to end up with you or whoever he wants to end up with you to you, and not by so much of, okay, I tried, I did this, I did that. If you maintain that posture, whether you are dating or whether you are trying to date online or in person, you will be fine. I will not judge anybody who is on a dating app, but for me at that time, it just wasn't for me. It put me under too much pressure. It was a lot of work. I wasn't depending on God, or there was just not, it wasn't a God process any longer for me. Yeah, just because I was trying to work this in my own power. And if there's anything you take, maybe you're single, if there's anything you can take from these videos, just that whole thing of beware. I mean, I think that relationships and marriage is a God thing. So let God work it, whether it is online or in person. Let God work it. Never get to the point where you think that you have to take matters in your hands and you just want to do. It doesn't really pay at the end of the day. So yeah, that's really what I think about about dating apps. And also the fact that you're on a Christian dating app does not mean that it's Christians you meet. That one, it busts my brain. There are some people that you meet there, maybe they are Christians as per they were raised in a Christian home, but like personal relationship with God, no, not everybody, very few. Some of the guys you meet there just want to date or marry a good girl, not like they are Christians themselves. So that's another thing that you want to think about. Not everybody. Don't go there and be scammed. Don't be careful. Of course, anybody on a dating app should know that you should be careful. But most importantly, just remember that this is a God thing. Whatever means you meet the person you are going to end up with, remember that it's a God thing. God provides. God gives us what we need, who we need. Okay? I just thought I would share this story because it was very interesting. Have you guys had experiences with dating app? Put it in the comment. Don't be shy. We're adults here. Important thing is that whatever you do, you honor God. That's it. And that there are people who get to honor God even with dating apps. So let's know in the comment section what has been your experience, or what do you think about dating apps generally. Beware, I'm not talking about hookup apps. I'm talking about dating apps. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you've not. Share this video. Please, we need to get 500 subscribers. Let people know about my channel. Thank you so much. I love you guys. It's okay to be single on Valentine's. We will all be all right. See you guys later. Bye.